If you are interested in starting your own podcast, we use Buzzsprout because it is simple and easy to use. Buzzsprout can get your show listed on every major platform while giving you the resources for a great podcast website, audio players that can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening to your podcast, and tools to promote your episodes. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and that is why over 100,000 podcasters are already subscribed to Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Following the link in our episode descriptions lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you. So in return, you will receive a $20 Amazon gift card from Buzzsprout while signing up for a paid plan. Most importantly, every subscription through our link is always appreciated and helps support our show so we can continue delivering the quality content that you guys listen to. That being said, back to the show.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Junkies. I'm Andrew.
This is Joe.
And we're here to bring you Saturday is for the Boys. Just kidding. I don't have a working title. We're supposed to do this yesterday. It was going to be like a new Friday night hang type thing, but that's what we're doing. We broed down. We had an adventure. We brought our wives with us and we did a whole lot of different collecting, a lot of fun stuff going on. So we're going to just recount that to you because that's what we're doing. It's really cold here in Michigan. There's really not much to do. Perfect time to record an episode. Perfect time to also go to the comic book store because it's not that far. Heads up, I went to one today, couldn't find anything. Wanted to make sure my credits didn't expire, but I look like I'm clear from that. But nothing to knock down. Cool books. Ghost Rider 1, $500. A little too much for me right now. But that aside, yeah, we're going to talk about our trip we had the other week. And by trip, I mean Joe came out my way down in Southeast Michigan, the Downriver area. What up? But, a lot of comic book stores out here. Well, technically we're in Livonia too. Some antique shops. We went to a record store, went out for dinner. So we could talk about all that. Before we get going, Dankeschön to all of our listeners in Frankfurt. We got homies out in Michigan. We got homies down in Indianapolis. We got homies in Louisiana. They talk to us and let us know what's up. We appreciate y'all, but Dankeschön, Germany, Frankfurt to be specific. You're pretty up there as one of our most consistent listening areas, believe it or not. And I wanted to shout that out because I never hear from the Germans, but we got love for you. Obviously, I'm Andrew Berger. It's in my roots somewhere. We got this Polish trader over here. I'm just kidding. I'm Polish too. But, shouts out Germany. I like that. That's really cool that you guys make up a good amount of our listenership, especially recently. I've seen even more downloads. So it may not just be one person.
It might be two people, bro.
It could be two people, bro. So if that's the case, thanks to both of you. But I just wanted to get that out of the way. I was just looking through our analytics the other night and I found that so interesting. And you guys are very consistent too. I got to give you that. Been there all the way. So very cool. Don't hear from you. We'd love to hear from you if you follow us on our socials at all. But either way, we salute all of our listeners, by the way. I just, but let's get into it. Well, I would ask you how you're doing, but you're seething, bro. He's not in the mood.
No, I've had a lot of stuff come up, but everything's good, bro.
It's cloudy with a chance of meatballs over there.
Yeah, doesn't pay to feel bad for yourself. So I want to go back to a time where I was having fun.
Yeah.
Which is when my wife and I drove to Berger's house and then he drove us to Con. And so I think the big attraction was it was the first Knights of Columbus event of the year. I haven't found a book for my birthday at that point, and my birthday still hasn't come, but it is coming up. Also, a chance to do a double date afterwards. And then there was a collection that got brought up from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Do you know about that situation or no? I felt like I should have asked more questions about it while I was there.
No, I mean, I didn't ask any questions either, but apparently the dude just went down there and found a score. I mean, it's getting exceedingly rare these days, but there's still people who've got a barn, an attic, a basement full of a bunch of old folks, books and stuff that just gets passed down. I mean, and think about all the stuff in the hills and rural areas. You don't know what's out there till you get the call. There's still gems out there, apparently. And this guy nailed one. I'm talking, they had every book you could think of. Just
literally, about. I saw first Flash, Barry Allen Flash.
The X-Men.
First X-Men.
Spider-Man 1.
Spider-Man 1. First Green Lantern. Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Also Green Lantern issue 1.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything you can think of. Giant size. Crypto.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it was the right price too. Usually I got about $2K to blow in the beginning of the year on some comics, and that doesn't come till March for me. And this crypto was exactly $2K.
Oh,
So in my head, that money's going towards a giant size X-Men and Lois Lane, whether it's a issue 1 or a Showcase 9. But that would be the type of book that, or like a Daredevil 1, where I just put it off another year. There's only a few books where I can say, like, with exception, I'll deviate. That was one of them. So it was the right price. I think right condition too, just the wrong time.
yeah, it's like that.
If I had just a few more months to see that book, I think I might have did it, but I didn't. So, that book's still there. Hopefully, maybe I'll see it in a few months. Probably won't, but
Who knows?
either way, I have a plan.
It was a good con, very good for the first of the year. I will say before we set you up here, we got in there around noonish, ladies in tow. They were straight up, well, mine was straight up complaining about like the stank in there. Like the stereotype was proving true at this specific con. It was getting smelly up in there, some must, and it wasn't the books. But I will say, like, they had fun, it seems. I mean, as much fun as they can have for not collecting. But, we did decent work. We could have stayed there longer. There were good deals to be had kind of all around. There always is, especially for like the selection you get with the low admission and the prices. There's room to haggle. Consistent groups of guys there that always have good stuff. So it was very cool. Pretty good first con of the year. I need to go to less of these, but I do try to at least hit one or two a year. Hopefully we can get like Ted or Juan to get there around the same time and we could just take on the whole joint. But we'll have to get to another one maybe in the middle of the year in the summer or something, or maybe early in the fall, because they're the best bang for buck con and like comic book store environment that you can get anymore. I mean, for real, you got to go hang out at the Knights of Columbus. But yeah, I mean, enough about the show itself. Joe did not get a crypto, but he did get something quite large. So, I mean, let him know what you found.
I kind of want to drag it on a little more
You,
before
oh,
I
you want
like.
to tease him, bro?
Yeah, bro. I want to talk about the stuff that I missed before
Oh,
that.
good
So,
point.
yeah, there, like I said, that guy had everything. I think he was kind of like the attraction of
He
the.
was
Yeah, there was a lot of people digging over those bins. And
all
not
time.
only did he have like the best wall books, but he had the best like books in the short boxes and long box. Were they long boxes or short boxes?
I think they were long, and that's mostly what I digged in the whole time. That's where I got my book out of, just a teaser. That's how good the bins were at this con, to be honest. And there were several sellers that had good bins worth of keys.
Burger
It's
will tell you I usually don't go through the bins because I got a feeling like if it's really good, it's going to be on the wall. And I'd rather put my budget towards a wall book than like books that are like kind of like lower grade but good deals.
yeah.
But this guy had everything and it
There's
wasn't just short of the wall. So that was some boxes worth looking through. Like he had
yeah.
a Wally West,
Oh, did
which
he?
is a book I was after. Yep, it
Oh,
was
it was lower grade.
400. It was too low grade. Yep, the
Yeah.
price was right, but the condition wasn't.
That was the problem on a few books in there because there was some really cool stuff I saw in there, and I was just like, oh, if it was just a
Yeah,
little bit nicer.
you could tell this collection was a bit older. He had like an X-Men 3 First Blob, 400 Raw. I didn't look at it too closely, but that was something on my radar.
That's
I feel like I
cool.
could have got a better book for that amount of money spent, but it seemed like a good deal. They also had a Brave and the Bold 30, First Amazo 35, 225. So the price and condition was right, but I didn't want to tie up half my budget on that book when there was like cooler buys for that price point. He also had a first House of Secrets 61, Eclipso, and Showcase 37 Metalmen. Again, didn't look too closely, but it looked like the right condition and the right price. If I couldn't find anything, that was actually the combination I was going to leave with for the day.
The whipped and dipped combo.
Yes. And then he also had a Brave and the Bold 25 for Suicide Squad. He
Ooh,
wanted 500 for it. And that's how much I actually spent. So I could have got that book, but hopefully the book that I walked away with was a little more PC,
it's very
than that
PC.
book,
It's more PC.
and then this was all those books I just listed were from that seller. But there was another seller. Get this. They had an Iron Fist 14 First Sabretooth book I'm looking for. They wanted 1400 for a mid-grade raw. So it just goes to show how disgusting people can be. Like you got quite the nerve pricing your stuff like that. Like I'm not even going to try to haggle with you. Like you're so far like
Yeah.
divorced from reality that I'm just not even
Kooky.
gonna Yeah, initiate that conversation. And then also, I wish I kind of had like a card that shows like how experienced I am because I had some people like trying to lure me over to their booth and be like, "What are you looking for? What can I help you
Oh, I
find?" It's
know.
just like, bro, I know more than you. Quit.
Yeah, I'm smarter than you.
Like, my books are better than any books you brought here. Like, please leave me alone.
I did point that out to Jazz. Like, I pointed at like a wall selection there, and I was just like, could you imagine if I brought my books and put them on a wall like that? I'd straight up be close to like that Harley Yee, I think, honestly. I would need a big expanse unless I put it all in bins, but wall books, baby.
Yeah, for sure. No, so I mean,
I do the salesmanship. I get they need to close a sale. Some of these guys are coming up from Ohio or like the northern part of Michigan even to come to this show. So I'm sure that like they don't want to come here and like not sell anything. But sometimes they do get a little too like predatory. It's like, bro, this ain't a used car. Like, leave me alone. Like, I know what I'm looking for, and if you have it, I'll talk to you about it. I don't need to be upsold on something I'm not looking for. We don't need to play guessing games.
you can try to upsell me when I'm already bought in. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this is a good book I want. Like, can we bundle? You know what I mean? But like, you don't even have anything I'm interested in. Like, there's no conversation.
Fishing with no bait, bro. Just leave
Just
me
a straight
alone.
hook in the water. Like,
Yeah, you're just a prayer, dude. Hail Mary.
yeah,
Like
no,
maybe I
thank
could
you.
talk this guy into getting something he don't want. It's like, brother, divorcing me from my money is harder than you think. I ain't gonna just buy any old thing. Like when it comes down to it, but I know that there's a way to hold out for con. There was a guy trying to sell me hard on a Journey into Mystery 112, that Thor versus Hulk fight. And granted, that is a book I'm after, and he did come down to a very fair price. He was gonna give me 180 on it, which was like a good like 50 to 70 bucks off, honestly. He was asking like 220, 250 in that range. And I was just like, I don't want to spend that much on that book. Like that doesn't feel like a big ticket con book. So I could have got it for 180, but there was a bunch of other stuff kind of back at the bins where Joe was talking about that, I thought about getting. There was some like Journey into Mystery there because that was like my main goal going in. You guys heard about all the crap I picked up so far this year. So like I'm not hungry anymore, It's like getting that's dessert for me. Half the top nine was already full. I wasn't looking for anything big, didn't want to spend big, just wanted to help point guard for Joe and then maybe get something small for me. But I mean, a deal's a deal. And then you get hyped into the moment. I got my wife there. I'm like, he's going to get a big book. Should I get a decent sized book so I don't get like shrimpy? And then she's like, yeah, go ahead, do whatever. I was like, oh, sick. So we came up with a budget. And then from that on, I spent half my budget, by the way. And I got a book that should have been at least full budget. Been dragging this on for a minute. But like, let's talk about our books, bro. There was so much good stuff there. There always is.
So I ended up getting two books. Berger found both of them
Point
actually
guard.
for me. Yep. So that's what I was saying with bringing a person there who knows what they're doing. The first book was a Doorway to Nightmare 1, First Madam Zandu. $20. Really
Yeah.
clean too.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a no-brainer. And I'm kicking myself because that same guy had a really nice Dr. Polaris issue 21 of Green Lantern
Oh, yeah.
for $20. And I forgot to grab it on the way out. So
Oh.
$20 all day long. I don't know why I didn't remember it, but I was too busy
You were,
debating like the
yeah.
big book, right?
It was mental warfare in your own head, bro.
It was because I have a rule where I don't like to buy anything lower than a 3, and
Yeah.
that 3 has to be like complete and attached to both staples.
Yeah.
But I came across a book that you don't see in person very often,
Hardly.
at all. So it's within the first 100 issues of Action Comics. It's from 1943, first Toyman.
Yeah.
Period. Action Comics 64. So there's a big like chunk on the right corner missing, but it's complete and attached. The inside actually looked pretty nice, and the chunk doesn't affect the story. It's just the corners kind of missing. So that's what I had to weigh in my head. Like, if I'm gonna see a higher grade copy of this, what's it gonna cost me?
Double.
Double. And do I want to spend double on that book?
Right.
So, I mean, I would be okay paying double, triple for like a crypto, but Toyman's such a, I'd say he's like a top 10 villain of Superman, but he's like probably his like third villain. He's pretty early on. So, that's a book that could be a little lower grade.
Yeah.
But it's also my first Golden Age Superman book. So not only did I get something, near and dear to me, but it's my first Golden Age book. No better way to do it than with a Superman book.
Huge key.
Especially Action Comics. Yeah. So I'm pretty stoked on that. And
Yeah.
I love the character. Like in the animated series, I thought he was awesome. So I'm hoping they can do something with him. And even if they don't, I think I paid the right right amount for that condition, especially because of how scarce a book like that really is. You just don't see them. And so I figured, kind of fun book to spend my money on.
Yeah, and he was cool in the Justice series. He was used in Smallville. I see him used a decent amount.
And the vendor took care of me. They didn't
Yeah,
try to haggle me. I asked if there was any like wiggle room on pricing. He's like $50 off the top. I said done.
yeah, easy.
And they were nice about me looking at the inside of it too.
Yeah, they did the same for me. Very worth it. I think it's a great book for you. I think it doesn't get more PC than that. And I think your rule can kind of skirt and change when it comes to Golden Age books, especially keys of that magnitude. Because anything silver on up, yeah, the three rule seems pretty golden to me. But like those Golden Age books, it's not even like a when thing, it's an if. It's like, when am I going to see it again? Will I see it again? Is it going to be remotely near this price? Or is it going to be like a 6.0 that's like double, like 8 Gs or something? You know what I mean? Like,
That was the first time I've ever seen one in person.
that's what I mean. And for its flaws, it still presents very well and it is quite clean. It's still attached and you know what matters. And I like it for you because it's a Golden Age book, especially with Golden Age Superman is key for Golden Age Superman. Random issues go for decent money. So to get a big key like that, I think was the right choice. I do think the Suicide Squad was a good deal if you could have got it, but I do feel like this is way more you. And I feel like this is something that doesn't like leave the collection. Like,
Yeah,
that's
you'll have to let us know. Would you rather a Toy Man or a Suicide Squad? And regardless, which book was better for me?
well, you know where I stand. And then I happened to get something from the same dealer. Like I said, wasn't planning on going hard. That guy was really trying to sell me on the journey into mystery. And I'm like, oh, I got to go get a lay of the land, brother. And he's like, well, the deal's still here if you come back. I was like, okay, so fine. If he gives me his blessing, if I don't find anything, maybe I get the Hulk versus Thor. I'd like that. But I start looking in the bins. I was looking around S to R, I guess, like, because it was alphabetical too, which was pretty nice. And I see some cool stuff. Like, there was some, like, a first Enchantress and Strange Adventures that was, like, cheap but clean. First Animal Man in Costume, second Animal Man. Like, I want to get those books. And they were decent deals. There were other good, like, Journey into Mystery keys. Even in there, there was an Absorbing Man, which is on the list, and, you know, stuff like that. But I ended up going down to the end to where it started the alphabet at A, flipped through Action Comics, which is where I helped out Joe. And I'm like, I told Jazz to go get him. I called him, I waved him down, but that's after I find my book. And so I'm flipping, I get into the Action Comics, I'm in the 200s, and I flip over 241 and go past it. And then I go, wait, was that what I thought it was? And I pull it up. Action 241, the first appearance of the Fortress of Solitude. Big in Superman, obviously. Kind of a slept on book. I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough, and it is expensive in most instances, but not as bad as like the other first appearances of things in the Superman mythos. So good deal. And it's, you know, the issue before Brainiac. It's right in that like sweet spot for Silver Age Superman. But either way, I pull it up, I look at it, the staples look fine, like it looks attached, there's nothing messing up the cover very much. And I asked them to look at it because I'm like, if this is complete and attached, I'll lock it in right now. And it was. And I instantly slid it in. I slid it right back in its bag and board. I taped it back up. I says, deal. Because they're asking 150 for a book of this magnitude. And it was actually clean enough by my standards to get. And I was just like, bet. Doesn't get better than that. So I was very pleased too. We both managed to somehow come away with like a large Superman key today, which is very not typical. Well, not today when we went last week, but like not typical to score something like that, let alone both of you. It's like there's never good Superman keys that are actually worth the price they're selling for, or you know, they're overpriced for our budget. But for us to both find like a quality key for Superman, very pleased.
Yeah, me too. I'd even be willing to go back just to see what else that guy has. Now that I got the big book out of the way.
Facts.
Some books I was looking for that I didn't see. I didn't see a first Silver Age Cheetah. In fact, I did ask a vendor about it, and he's like, "I've never been asked that before." So I'm like, "Okay, not very popular, whatever."
Damn.
He did have first. What's that Archie comic? Cheryl Blossom.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't want to walk away with just that. That would have been weird.
Yeah.
I don't see him ever, so I thought that might be cool because I don't have anything Archie. But in the same breath, like if that's all you walk away with at the end of the day, it might be a little weird.
I saw a
My
clean
con,
dolphin for like 200, but I was like,
same guy.
Oh, is that guy?
It was that guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like thinking about that, but then I was like, do I want to spend that much and just leave with Dolphin?
That's exactly how I felt. I'm just
Yeah.
like, hey, if it was like a LCS, cool, but Con,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I didn't see Cap 100 or a First Teen Titans because those have been on my list. You pointed out that there was a Talia. I didn't see it, but that would have been something I would have considered. And then I did see some issues of Hulk within that first 6 issue run.
Mm,
I think like issues like 4 and 5 or something like that. But
yeah.
one of them was like a 9.0 slab, so I didn't even ask what the price on that one was. And
Yeah.
then the other was raw, so I did ask about it, but when he pulled it out, it was in way worse condition than I thought, and I just didn't
Oh.
even ask the price because it was like a point 0.5.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely stuff that was like very tempting there, and there was definitely good deals left on the table, but bang for buck, I think we did what we needed to do. And because we left con shortly thereafter, once Joe locked in, we were good to go. Then the real day with the ladies started.
Now, I know you didn't buy that one book from the guy who was trying to give you a good deal on that like Hulk versus Thor
Yeah.
book, but was there anything else that you felt like you left behind?
It was mostly just like those early Animal Man books, that Enchantress, and then maybe like that Absorbing Man, because I felt like they were good bang for buck books. There were a few other things I saw. I can't really pull off the top of my head. I looked at like every bin and thing. So, I mean, I don't know. There's so many books on my radar. Those are like the ones that stood out to me. But there were other Journey into Mystery books hidden and stuff like that. There were some cool Fantastic Four earlier books, but if getting the Action 241, it was harder to kind of lock in on another. Oh, they had a Showcase 27 first Sea Devils. It was like 300 and it was clean. But I was just like, I know I could get one for like on eBay for around that or less. But I was just like, if I didn't get the Fortress of Solitude, I probably would have came away with a nice Sea Devils. I forgot about that. That was at the end. So maybe that. But we did also go antiquing. And as I mentioned, the record store, antique wise, not any cool comics really. I mean, there was some stuff that was decent, but because you just spent con money, you're like, it can stay. So nothing too prescient at the antique stores for that.
Yeah, there was a few books actually at the first antique store that we went to that I
Yeah.
would have bought had I not blown my comic budget at the con.
Yeah.
So I was kind of looking for more like vintage stuff for my guy room. So couldn't find anything at the first place, but the second place had this really cool Coca-Cola sign.
Yeah.
It was too expensive to do con and that signage same day.
Mm.
But something I'm gonna keep in the back of my mind for future. It was pretty big, so I'd have to make room for it. But pretty cool vintage Coca-Cola signage is unique.
Next time you come through, we can go.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But I will say the second shop, which is closer to my crib, actually did have a really impressive stack of books. They had like most of the keys from Spider-Man 3 through 20, and like they were all pretty good prices. I will say that they were pretty beat up, lower grade than I'd want, but the prices still seemed relatively fair. So if somebody who really believes in like low grade or no grade, and I mean extremely low grade, like good deal is there if you want to go to it. I'll just say it's in Lincoln Park. But I don't know. It was really tempting because I wanted to get some of those books because a lot of those were ones I need for the run, but it was just like they were asking so much for beat up copies of stuff I already got. Granted, if we're talking like issue 8, issue 15, stuff like that. So pretty cool. I think Nicole found some stuff at the antique store, but I don't think Jazz did at either of them. I think Nicole got something at both of them, didn't she? Or did she?
I think
No,
just
just
some
the
small
first one.
stuff.
Just the
Yeah.
first one. So at least someone was successful at the antique store. Still good shops, just, nothing this time around. Then we did go to the record store. I got my first 2 records to start my record collection. Joe has actually been collecting records a little bit all of a sudden. You want to let him know kind of the ones you got already? He didn't get anything
Yeah,
this trip.
so I didn't get any. I struck out. It was a good shot, but it was just stuff I wasn't really looking for there.
Yeah.
So I do find record collecting fun though. They're kind of a unique type of people, different than comic book people, but you can also like those are record people and those are comic people. They have like a vibe to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's that. They did have that Shags album, which was kind of funny. I almost bought it as a gag.
Hmm.
But I didn't want to spend $20 just to be silly. But some books, or sorry, some vinyl that I do have so far is I got Adore by the Smashing Pumpkins, signed by Billy Corgan himself. So with that one, I guess his wife owns a shop and they sold that to the record store I went to where I bought it from. And it was
Oh,
like a third of the quarter of the price that they were asking on eBay. So that was a no-brainer for me. My wife got me my first vinyl, which is like this remastered Siamese Dream, which is cool. And then I recently bought two Smiths albums and the Joy Division album too.
nice.
But I'm looking for just some of my favorite albums. Like there's a Microphones album I'm looking for. I want Reasonable Doubt by Jay-Z. I want The Bends by Radiohead. So there's a few specific vinyls I'm after, and I just wasn't able to find them at that shop. But it's something my wife's kind of got me into lately. Something light but fun, not as expensive as comic collecting, but still fun to do. That kind of scratches that same itch, but I'm really glad my brother Berger was able to find something there.
Yeah, I got my first two because Jazz has a record player and we figured we'd all look. But I did find two records. I spent like a whole $7 on them, which was pretty sick. I got like a Johnny Paycheck greatest hits. It's got a really cool cover of him like smoking a cigarette too. So I like that. The Johnny Paycheck one sounds pretty good. And then we did also get a Glenn Campbell like greatest hits assortment, basically, of all the songs that I enjoy for the most part. So it was cool to get that. Two of the artists I probably listened to a good amount. Cheap records with the like actual good songs because I'll come across like Glenn Campbell vinyls and stuff like that. And like the songs are good, but they're not the ones I like listen to the most. So I'm like, I don't need to get it. But I finally found one that kind of satisfied all the check marks. So yeah, now I got a couple. I don't think I'll go too frequently, but if I see something that makes sense, maybe I'll grab it. And then another first is actually not Jazz and I's first, but with our remaining time here, Joe and Nicole went to K-pot for the first time. You know, hot pot, Korean hot pot. I thought it was pretty banger. How'd you guys feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, the food was good. It's a fun experience. I think as a double date, it was great. You really have to load up on like the expensive stuff to kind of make it worth it.
Yeah,
Because I ended up spending like close to $150 when it comes to like drinks and the both of us.
mine was 80 with no drinks.
So it was good. I would do it again, but I don't know that I would initiate it because it kind of slows you down too as far as how much food you can eat because you got to wait for it to cook. Usually I just kind of shovel it all in,
It cooks fast though.
Yeah, I really like the mushrooms and the boy
Yeah.
bok choy.
Bok choy and
Uh,
enoki mushrooms.
yeah, but it was good. I had fun.
Yeah,
And so did she.
good.
And then lastly we went over to Burgers to play some guitar. Neither of
Yeah,
us have played in like a decade, but
yeah.
crossing my midlife crisis right now and we're dusting off the guitars.
Yeah, I'm practicing every night. I just got mine restrung, set up, proper intonation. I learned the Doors song. We're learning Ventura Highway together. We got to practice that next time we get together. I got more
For
parts
sure.
to teach you too. I've got all the parts learned now. It's like riding a bike. I'm back. I'm not
Okay.
like elite, but I'm like pretty up to par to where I was kinda.
Yeah, I'm not that far. I'm a lot slower than I was, but I think it'll come
It'll
quick,
come back.
which is cool. And then yeah. So I had a good time at the K-pot. My manager sent me a bunch of reels of how to do it ahead of time, so I didn't feel
That's
like
funny.
such a dumbass. And then guitar is another cool creative outlet that we're
Yeah.
trying to get into right now. So
CBJ concert.
it was a good day of creative relief.
Fucking artists call it creative relief. I don't know.
Okay.
It's the
All right.
accidental Bronson.
That's all right, brother.
Very cool.
Um, but that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that is all she wrote. And if you want to write us at CBJ Pod on Instagram, CBJ Podcast on Facebook, Comic Book Junkies on YouTube. We are posting shorts and clips on both YouTube and Instagram now. So if you want to see more clips of us yakking it up, those will be coming out at least a couple every other week. New episodes on Wednesdays. Rate, review, subscribe if you can, if you have not already. We appreciate you if you do. We'll have more comic tales coming to you, more books we got. All that stuff will be up there and in our audio too. I mean, I'm sure that's more of what we're gonna do. Gonna buy more books, gonna talk about more topics. Maybe we'll read again this year. Who knows? Probably not. It's a real time sink. But other than that, we appreciate you for real, and we'll catch you next time.
No, I appreciate you guys.